What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new season. Season is back, baby.
Is back.
Is back, baby.
Josh is only half asleep over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting ready to.
Oh, he's 75%.
Yeah.
I'm getting real cozy.
Real cozy.
From the mind that brought you finger blasting a cat comes
God damn it. You son of a bitch.
getting grinded to completion by a 8-year-old looking like a 17-year-old.
Ghost girl.
Right.
Talking
Get it out now.
Talking
Get it the fuck
Anohana.
out now.
Grounded.
The flower we
completion.
saw.
Oh, that flower was getting grounded.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Let's laugh before we cry.
Also,
Yeah.
they got it out then, too. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting it out, my name's Josh.
I am, good Lord. I am Jonathan.
You are not a good lord, sir.
Fuck.
I'm your best bro, Heather.
And I am Harley.
And 8 days a week, but a show killed before its time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like, this is the second season of
Sure.
8 Days a Week? Is that?
I mean,
are we defining them as seasons?
We're going by BBC rules, so yeah, that first 5 episode season
It was like
a
3.
Spread over
It was
5
3.
years. Yeah.
Fuck.
Cool.
Still
It still counts.
joke applies.
Yeah.
Tracks. Cool. Hey, well, I'm very glad to have finally. Oh no, what was that? I feel like did anyone else hear that? I feel like my mic might have just went out or something.
No.
Okay,
you're
Definitely
good.
didn't.
cool. Okay, never mind.
That's just you mumbling.
yeah. I'm gonna try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, I feel like this is definitely the first time I've been on 8 Days a Week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
you all are in for a real treat.
I don't think that's true.
That's
It's
very
real not true.
This is also part of the Moist Boys family.
Honestly,
so
it's the
Oh.
best
it's
way.
yeah.
8 days a week on. It's like
Is that how it works?
it's like when Playboy was on Spike TV for a little
8
while.
days a
Yeah.
week
Well-
on the Moist Boys.
Yeah.
I only watched
Channel.
it for the articles. So.
Yeah, that's fair. This episode is very much going to be Harley and Jonathan work through some shit while Heather and Josh just roll their eyes.
I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
won't roll my eyes. I'll just tune out for a while.
I won't roll my eyes. I'll just close them for
Yep.
long periods of time.
for 7 to 8 hours.
This is Heather. This is Harley and Jonathan work through some shit while Heather and Josh play on their phone.
I don't know y'all
the
talk about.
podcast.
I got nothing to divulge.
Nothing at all.
0%.
I have to come out swinging right now. Actually,
Well,
and-
this is your fault. So
Yeah, this is
That is
This is.
100%
Yeah, you've
your
been
fault,
pushing
so.
for this. For
I've been pushing for this
years.
for so long.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you.
Also,
What the
you're-
fuck is this, and why are we doing it?
Yeah.
Jonathan?
What the
What's an Anohana?
made
What's an
you make me
Anohana?
watch
What's an
this one?
Anohana?
Yeah.
So
Also, by the way, just quick story. I was like, oh yeah, I just watched Anohana to like a fellow nerd, and a not nerd was standing there, and she didn't know what it was, and she was like, oh well, I just watched this, and we were like talking about it, and he goes, I don't watch anime, and she goes, mine's a real life motherfucking movie. What makes you think we're talking about anime? And he goes, it's in another language.
oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yikes.
Oh no,
Oh no, sir. I assume, sir. Actually,
it was a sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
Wow, Johnny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you know what? I got it right. So
That is true.
Also, my voice did the. I don't know. It's in another.
yeah, she
language.
literally did guy voice. So I mean,
wow. I'm
Harley,
just
not
being.
all
Shut the
men
fuck
sound
up,
like,
Harley.
wow, I'm Harley.
Got him.
fucking
That is fair.
get roasted.
I think, as the kids say, I may have just gotten wrecked.
You got a bit wrecked.
Speaking of kids getting wrecked,
Oh no! Oh, okay. End it on a high note.
Yep. All
There
right.
we
We'll
go.
see you next week,
4
folks.
minutes and 55 seconds in, we have peaked.
Okay, Jonathan. So
Okay,
tell me
so-
why I had to watch Bridge of Terabithia, the anime.
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay. So
tell me it's not.
No, it is.
yeah, no, that's
Oh God.
fuck.
did the girl in Bridge to Terabithia just fall off the bridge, and that was the whole point of the
Yeah. She went
She-
to Terabithia, i.e. hell.
Terabithia?
Yeah, she didn't go to Terabithia. Terabithia.
Terabithia.
Terabinth?
She didn't make it. She was trying to jump across and she didn't make it.
Yeah, well,
Jesus.
serves never being done.
Wasn't she getting R-word by her stepdad or something? Isn't that why?
Oh my god!
Or is that a different movie?
really, really loved.
No, I was thinking the book of.
You thinking Book of Henry?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, yeah.
Definitely
I always
the
get
same
those
thing.
two mixed up.
Who couldn't?
Two movies I'll never see, so they're the same to me.
So
There's
it's fair.
There's an Anohana game for the PlayStation Portable.
Is there really?
Yeah. Oh, it's visual novel. Who do you get to?
Oh, you just get to fucking cry to a game that's played at you. That's
Yep.
cool.
I wonder if it's a dating sim because that's free.
Fucking, I hope,
hope not.
I really hope not. Okay, so the year of our Lord 2021
God bless.
marks the 10-year anniversary of the premiere and airing of the show Anohana. I unfortunately did not watch this show in 2011 when it originally came out. I discovered this show in about 2016, and it got me through some shit, I will say. Like I joke about it occasionally on the podcast, but I definitely like have some unchecked anxiety and depression shit that probably at some point should get checked. Who knows? Seems to be fine so far.
That's what the podcast is for.
That's what the podcast is
I
for.
find that just ignoring it and shoving
It's just-
those feelings down
Yeah.
is best.
And then just watching like things that just kind of make you feel sad.
Yeah.
And then just like feeling sad about it afterwards. This was I think the first anime that like I watched it, I got through it, and then like the sad stuff like actually fucking broke me.
Yeah.
Because like I've sat through like sad shit before and just been like, yeah, man, that was sad. And then I just like I go into like a depressive state. This was the first thing that was just like, hey, bro, come out on this ledge. It's perfectly fine.
Jesus.
And then was like,
Yeah.
welcome to out here where we actually like fucking bring you past the point of actually just releasing all of that.
Yeah.
And I fucking did. And it was
So it was cathartic. Or
very much so.
That's good.
And what's weird about it is like nothing that happens in this show is like a personal, like there's no one-to-one for me in this show. So like I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that like if I like something, I connect very quickly with it.
Yeah.
And this show, to me, I'm not gonna blanket statement a bunch of stuff, but so anything I say is to me.
Yeah.
But the show does a very good job of making you like enough of the cast to where when you get to the point of the realizations of things, the airing of like certain things that happen to people, and it just fucking hits you like a truck, and my body could not fucking sustain it, and so I just like sat through the last 15 minutes of the last episode of this show. I am just like fucking crying the entire time.
Yeah, it's rough.
So it's rough. But that is not necessarily a universal experience for that show. So let's talk about this show.
Well, I mean, I think you hit on a good point, though. I mean, I think that's, I mean, and a lot of this stuff, not just Anohana, but a lot of shows like it. I mean, seeing people get catharsis, seeing people being able to move past like a certain trauma or obstacle, I mean, that is inherently cathartic. So I mean, while necessarily, I mean, I don't think that I mean, clearly no one, I don't wish like a one-to-one situation to this show on anybody, but I mean, I think still getting through the story, growing attached to the characters, and seeing how it all turns out, I mean, that in and of itself can be extremely cathartic and can be very much like, I don't know, I mean, I for me personally, clearly we're going to get into it, but like what this show is about at its very most basic simplified point is just like allowing yourself to move on.
Yeah.
from a situation, from trauma. And I mean, that's universal. I mean, I think everyone in their life, you know, at some point can use a little bit of reminding that that's okay. But yeah. Josh,
so-
you wanna give us the overview what this shit's all about, what all this anime shit is?
There's this island called Japan.
Got
it's
it.
actually a series of smaller islands.
Isn't that the one that Johnny hates?
A little bit.
Nice.
A little bit.
I'm not gonna fucking even dignify this
That-
shit
that
anymore.
joke-
Actually, he
is-
loves
yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
As do we all.
And back in the
What a card.
probably like it really took off in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Japan.
Anime. You told me to break down anime, so I'm trying to.
No, I meant just the show. Like,
First of all, he said break down animu.
yes.
Yeah, thank you for catching that.
Well, Harley says things wrong all the time, so I have to.
True.
I have a filter that just like
So, Harley, there's
translated.
this
That
cow.
is, that is fair.
There's this cow,
Her
and it
name
goes.
is Annie.
And her name's Annie, and so she's an animu.
And you ask her if she's okay.
And she goes, Annie animu.
Jesus.
That got me. And I'm not happy about it. And we will be talking about that after the stream because
Oh Lord.
Lordy Lord.
yeah, what's Anohana? Anohana.
Anahina.
It's about 4 shitty people, a little kid, and a guy that just gets dragged along even though he doesn't want to be there. That's it.
Wow, you basically described like every anime ever.
I would say 4 shitty people, a ghost child, and a dude who is ignored and shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I will just we'll let you, the viewers, decide who's who.
Who's who?
I mean, except for
it's-
the girls.
I mean, it's Popo.
It's Popo.
Popo's the hero of the show.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
which is crazy.
So,
Yeah, I mean nowadays, I mean all you hear about Popo, you know, fucking
Oh my
my
fucking
God.
don't
Anyway.
anyways.
don't fucking
Anyways.
drag your
Don't.
fucking shitty fucking feet in here and put them on my couch right now.
I'm sorry, it's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm wearing sandals. It's not my fault. Well, it is my fault, but
So this is this show about a guy named Many Names.
Yep.
He goes by many names, 3 of them actually.
everyone
his
in the
name-
show goes
yeah.
by at least 3
He's
names.
Jitan.
His name is Jinta.
Jintan.
Jinta Yadomi is his actual name. His friends call him Jintan.
Do his friends call him that, or does he have no friends when we meet him and they call him Yadamin?
Well, they call him Yadomi because they're not friends anymore. When they were friends, they all had nicknames, and his nickname was Jintan.
But they're no
which
longer
we
friends.
will fucking shout 1 million times over the course of this episode.
Yeah.
Much like it is shouted.
I
One-
shan't be
I
participating
also.
in that.
So
Should just call him Tetsuo. Just combine all that shit into one name.
Fuck.
Alistair, get the whole fucking party
Alistair.
going.
Get the whole group together. My son!
So it's about
Jintan.
Jitan,
Jintan.
who's having what he believes to be a psychotic break because of the summer heat
Yeah.
and his anxiety. Imagining a grown-up version of his friend who died when she was 8. 8? We're gonna
7.
go with 8. 7?
Save.
Okay, so here. Oh,
Same.
sorry. I'm sorry.
She goes to Haven because she's saving.
No, she doesn't.
So here's the thing.
No, I want to do this. I'm doing
I know. I'm sorry. I'll let you do your thing. If we're gonna,
I'll let you finish.
sorry, I will let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish,
I'm just-
Thanks,
but Anohana
Kanye.
had the
Sorry.
best anime of all
damn
time.
Sorry. No, I will let you finish, and then I'm gonna have my rant about certain things afterwards.
Well, I'm going to rant about it too, so we're just going to rant together. It'll be
Okay,
fine.
that's fine. Yeah, we can
Okay.
do that.
Because at no point, everybody keeps saying that they're 17, but at no point does it say that they're 17.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
if
we're
you
gonna get
read
into
the
this-
extended manga,
we're gonna
No.
get this. No, so
No.
there's 7. It's been 5 years.
No, that is my biggest problem.
It says it's been 5 years.
They in the dub,
Uh-huh.
they specifically mention that it's 5 years.
Yeah.
But that is that year.
These aren't 12-year-olds.
They're not
who
12-year-olds.
amongst us?
So, but
Watch
they
the
are,
dub.
but I watched the
I
dub.
did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
I switched
yeah.
back and forth.
Here's
Then
what, here's what I'm
with the
going to tell
information
you.
that was provided. That'd be
First of
confusing.
all-
Well, that's what. So yeah,
Let's talk about that then. Let's talk. Who watched dub? Who watched sub?
I've watched both.
I have only watched sub.
Josh?
I did both. I switched back and forth depending on how much I wanted to be watching the show versus on Twitter while the show was on.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna be honest. I had a terrible cold at the beginning of this week.
Oh.
I lost my voice. I completely was gone. I was taking medication. I had to work still. So I had Monday through Thursday to watch the show, and in the deep throes of my cold started. And was like, look, I do not have the energy to read.
That's fair.
And comprehend what is happening right now. I need a dub.
Yep.
And so I did. Also because Jonathan was like, listen, people are going to shout over top of each other and you need to know who's talking. I was like, okay, good.
There's a lot of Menma talking while other people are talking in two specific episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't know that's coming,
You're not
and you
gonna know who
have
the
to
fuck's
try to
happening.
read it all of the sudden, you're just like, fuck.
What is happening in my life?
Fortunately, 90% of what she says is just Jintan over and over again, so it makes it easier.
Yeah, but then some of it is her yelling at him about specific things that are happening in the room while somebody is also talking to him, and you're just like,
Yeah. And
what?
it's nice when you're watching the dub because at least her voice is an octave higher than every fucking body else is.
Which is true in the sub as well.
It is, yeah.
Correct, but I don't understand the sub. I have to read, and I can't read in an octave above. I had her screeching at Jean Tom the whole time. Well, it was fine.
I guess I didn't really have again, being able to lock in completely helps a ton, I'm sure, but I never really had trouble tracking Menma versus the other characters.
Let's talk about how I was on Sudafed.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've been on that very specific
throat
content.
lozenges that I had to put my birthday in to be able to buy.
Oh,
yeah, getting the
And,
hardcore shit.
Damn.
Yeah, I was drinking
Man, what
I
the
was drinking 2 gallons of water a
why
day.
why
was
didn't I come down? Why didn't we do another cat? Because that seems to be the winning recipe.
Yeah.
Harley is
A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs.
A lot of
Except for
prescribed.
I was on them and I was just tired and it felt like I swallowed 1,000 knives and yeah, it's not great times. Anyways, so I watched this I watched this very tired.
Got it. Yeah.
Which I think also might have hindered my watching experience.
Yeah.
Is that I was just exhausted and here's this okay, so I'm just gonna be honest. Menma's the worst fucking character I've ever watched in a show ever in my entire life. This, whatever age, and we're gonna go back to that conversation. Whatever age she fucking looks like, but is an 8-year-old screeching in an 8-year-old voice while I'm trying to figure out what these angsty teens are talking about, does not work for me when I am overly tired. So I was
That's
just
fair.
she's the worst character I've ever seen, and I'm totally ready for her. And she's in every fucking scene, basically.
Yeah, I mean, she is pretty much the crux of the entire show. So, so if you're not a fan, then you're probably just not going to like the show.
Yeah.
That is accurate.
So I struggled with Menma. I came back.
Have you or a loved one struggled with Menma? Call 1-800.
I came back around a little bit. I think really what it was is I never bought into her. I was never sold on her, but it stopped.
You never bought into giving a shit if she went to heaven or hell or not. You're like, send this bitch to a nunnery.
I don't care.
Get out of
where
my
she
face.
goes.
Get this bitch out of the show.
Screen. Yeah. They stopped
You're welcome.
being so much about her and Jinta's and then he starts to interact with more people. So you get to see a little less of her, and it helped me with the show.
That's fair.
Anyway, so
we got
going
to hang
back
out
to
with hashtag best girl Honoru.
Is she best girl? Is she best girl?
Yeah, actually, that did not go where I thought it was going to go.
Again, we're going to talk about 4 shitty human beings, a ghost girl, and one guy who needed to be listened to more. So,
Yeah, best girl is Popo, and I will fight everybody.
yeah, I will fight you all too.
He's the guy that puts on a brave face because he knows that nobody around him is going to give it none of those
gives
other
a
people
shit.
give a shit about him.
No.
Yeah,
he could
that's his whole when he's having his fucking breakdown.
Yeah.
And everything. So fuck.
No, we're not getting into it yet.
No, I know
Yeah.
we're not getting into that yet. I'm gonna get into my first thing first. Okay.
We still need to figure out how old these fucking
let's
people
talk
are.
about these
So
ages first.
let's go into that. Okay. So when you watch the dub, they say that everything that happened with Menma dying happened 5 years ago. The problem with that being they left everything fucking else in the script. So when Satoshi.
They're freshmen.
Yeah, so when Satoshi is talking about how Menma died and he was too young to really remember her, if he was
Satoshi being Menma's younger
brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Director
let's
of
say
Tokyo Godfathers. And,
yeah,
yeah.
So we're gonna speculate he is roughly 13.
Give or take.
There's with a margin of error of 1 more, maybe. He's either 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So you take away 5 years from 13, he was 8. He was too young to fucking remember his sister at 8.
Frankly,
Bullshit.
I don't remember
think
anything
that they're
before
17.
after 20. So
Again, I don't think they're 17. So I'm looking at it.
I mean,
and
it's
talking
anime
about
logic,
them
so they were probably
being
all 12. Yeah.
freshmen. Okay,
Okay, but I'm gonna let me finish my thing.
go ahead.
Okay, so what makes more sense because of how he is portrayed in the flashbacks is if Satoshi is 3.
Yeah.
He is 3. They are between 6 and 7. The reason that we know this is a fact is that the fucking end theme song that plays over the credits and various scenes within the show is called Secret Base, parentheses, 10 years after version, and it is sung by the female cast of the show.
So that it's 10 years later.
So it is 10 years later.
Yeah.
They were 6 or 7. And fuck the dub specifically in that one aspect.
Okay, so the dub saying in 5 years, fine. But you said it kept everything else. They're freshmen. Japanese freshmen are 15 years old.
So they were 5?
I don't know if they were 10. I don't know if it's actually
And then
been 10 years.
Satoshi, who hadn't been born yet.
I'm
Satoshi
just saying,
was just walking around
if you're
being a
gonna go-
fetus.
I'm just saying, you're saying they left everything else in the script, and it talks about them being freshmen, and freshmen in Japan are 15.
First years.
They're first years.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So they were 5.
Well, that makes everything around, what's her name, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Around Menma?
No.
Or around Honoru?
Yeah. Well, I mean, both. Because.
I mean, yeah.
Both. But definitely Anru / Anjo / whatever that was.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
Not only in the what if this was real, but also in the why is she always like slightly bent over, and why is the camera always so low?
Yeah.
Like there are so many times I was like, why are they animating her from this angle?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they definitely are presenting, especially like
She
the
was.
older cast. Yeah, the older cast, like they're supposed to be young adults, and however, yeah.
I mean, she's definitely not old enough
No,
for me to be looking at.
no, yeah. I mean, welcome,
no, yeah.
welcome to anime. You know,
Yeah.
I can assure you, pretty much any one of your waifus, you dirty people out there. Are
That's
so.
why I don't.
That's why I love Snorlax.
I mean, it's not lolicon bad, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Menma
fucking,
is, but
Asuka and Rei are fucking 14.
Yeah.
You're going to jail, bro.
Yep. Knock knock. It's the FBI. That's why you just gotta find yourself a 1,000-year-old lolly and just call it good.
No, that is that is not the thing to do.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. That's all you have in
that's
this
all I
point?
got.
Jonathan, just Jesus.
Just Jesus.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. Okay. So here I have fucking blinders when it comes to this fucking show.
Yeah.
I watched the sub originally, fucking sobbed at the end. Watched the dub like a little more than a year ago, fucking sobbed at the end. Like whichever version you go with, it'll fucking get you there.
Yeah.
And where there is a very uncomfortable place on the couch, maybe with a dog staring at you, your fucking little kid like running around, and you just being like, I gotta go sit. think about literally anything else.
Daddy's gotta go get some brain bleach.
It's an uncomfortable situation on the couch while your husband's sobbing next to you.
And you're just like, this show fucking blows.
You,
this sucks.
the normal crier, sitting next to your robot who's leaking oil somehow.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Robot's leaking oil over here.
Why is this a human leaking?
Yeah. I am sitting there and like,
the one who is
I'm
crying
gonna
during
be honest,
the show.
like, something does get me, and it's hard and it's rough, and the show brings it out of fucking left field.
Well, that shit like T-bones your shit. Like I feel like anyone who watches the scene in particular, like that's gonna affect fucking anyone. If you have any sort of buy-in, any sort of like
here's the thing,
connection.
I don't think I had buy-in.
Really?
I don't think I had connection. I was not a huge fan of the show from the get-go. I found Menma annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
I thought Jitan was just I didn't think he was terrible, but I was just like, it's a 15-year-old who's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, go to school. What is your dad doing? Go to school.
Well,
okay, so
there
here's
are
the
definitely
thing.
some things that I think would be lost, like kind of in the cultural leap, from
and also
from talking into your microphone to not talking.
Well, I'm
into your
trying to
microphone.
fucking look at your ass.
Also, here's my thing about the ages as well, and it almost makes more sense for it to only have been 5 years. That the fact that they're still reeling from this so much.
Yeah,
and I don't know if the brother is 13. He might be 10. He's still young enough to like that. I don't know. He's young enough that I could see him still being like 10.
I guess.
But also that would make them have to have been 10 if they're 15 now. And I don't know. The ages are weird. It's got to have been longer than 5 years. But I also can feel like their parents reacting the way they do to them, having not been that long, makes a little more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely like thinking about the character of like the mother, Menma's mother, who like, I mean, if she's just been grieving for a decade, like that's fucking.
But that also,
terrible,
like it's weird. So like parts of the story makes more sense with 5 years. Parts of the story makes more sense with 10 years.
Yeah.
Her like what's his name? The younger brother. What's
Satoshi.
Satoshi's reaction to his mom, like being like she and the dad's reaction of like she hasn't moved forward a day.
Mm-hmm.
And him being like, look, I have been growing without you knowing me.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, how tall am I this year? Like, first of all, that's such a random ass question. How tall am I, mother?
Yeah.
How tall am I?
Yeah, but like parents track that shit.
That's true. I do. I track that shit. Like,
I guess I did kind of. Yeah, I guess now that I'm actually, I never really thought
weather
about
patterns
it.
for me. I'm like, how tall are you right now, child?
Never really thought about it
weigh?
before, but now that you guys are kind of outlining it, I guess they do kind of play it a little fast and loose with like the ages. But I mean, I guess like, does it really? I mean, does it? Obviously, other than like some of the sexual overtones that pop up here and there, I mean, does it matter really, like narratively or thematically? Like, I mean, as long as you can, I mean, I guess connect and understand. Like,
so here's my thing about fast and loose with ages.
Yeah,
and them making timelines fit whatever they need for that scene.
Yeah,
it creates a disconnect in the story
for sure.
And so while I 100% get where Jitan's dad's dealing with this. It's been 5 years. His son lost his like a really great friend, and then his mom, very close together. It's been 5 years. Yeah, I'm gonna cut some slack. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, a decade is a long ass time.
What the fuck is this dad doing? And like,
that's fair.
Understand that he just lost he lost his wife, and he's still very much in that grieving himself. But you're letting your child 10 years later still fall off the fucking map.
Yeah.
Here's the only thing that I will say in defense of any of that. And it's something that like it's a dick move to pull. Nobody in this room knows how they would react to something like that.
No, we don't. Not at all. And I have watched several things, and I've, it's not an uncommon trope for a parent to die and the one parent to go into a deep depression and not know what the fuck they're doing. And I've read plenty of books and watched plenty of movies, and Disney does this shit all the goddamn time.
Oh yeah, no, if you're in a Disney movie, your parents are dead.
You're losing one of them.
Yeah.
Pick which one you love the least.
Oh,
That's
God.
the parent that stinks. days.
one.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah, the
real,
one you don't
problem.
like, that's the one you get. To
It's a real un-Sophie's choice.
God, who's Sophie, man? She must be real fucked up.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, Josh.
I get that, and no, you don't know how you would react, but also 10 years.
Yeah.
So here's some sleuthing
Okay.
Ooh,
I did
Yankee
on the internet.
sleuth.
Hit me with it.
Yep.
In one of the episodes, on the classroom on the chalkboard, supposedly there is kanji that they don't teach until 6th grade.
Okay.
Oh.
So in 6th grade they'd be 11 years old. So when they're children, they're 11.
It's really young 11s. I mean, that's not so bad.
I don't know, man.
Who knows? And then the Jintan says that he's been a recluse for 5 years. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's been 5 years, but apparently in the manga, it specifically states that it's been 5 years. So I guess they're 16.
Manga.
16, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when
Manga.
fucking weird. So why?
We broke Johnny.
The 10-year song is going to drive him nuts.
It's gonna drive me nuts now.
Maybe
Like,
that was a remix for when they put it on Netflix this year.
no,
or maybe
because
it
it was
was
like
the-
that song has been called that since it came
Yeah.
out.
Then maybe
Anohana.
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 It
Yeah,
means
well,
nobody gets left
fuck.
behind, and it's only been 5 years.
I mean, we've all been left behind in our own way.
just like
Anohana means
just like
Nicolas
Popo.
Cage and or what's his ass
Yeah.
Just like
from
Popo.
the real version.
Or
yeah.
Popo.
The fuck is his name?
Hmm.
From Growing Pains.
Oh.
Oh, Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Cameron.
Jesus.
Oh shit! Yeah.
How
okay.
fucking dare you make me utter that fucking jackass's name?
Cam Kirkman.
Cam Kirkman.
I wonder if he's still. Do you think COVID's taken him out yet? I mean, it has to have, right? Like,
Fuck.
Jeepers creepers.
Not
Anyway.
left behind anymore, Kirk.
thoughts and prayers to Kirk Cameron.
Thoughts and bless up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we watched the show where these 4 teenagers, go with that. Let's say.
Five teenagers.
4. 4 teenagers.
Popo is definitely older because he literally has been around the world.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna-
he can't find his baby.
Yeah, Popo's.
But none of them are 18.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So
man.
how-
Mari Okada doesn't know how the world works. She's just out on her
She's
own.
like, I don't know. You can get into probably a hostel under 18.
Probably.
A youth hostel? You can
Trust
probably
me,
get
like
in
yes.
there
you
under
can
18.
do a lot of shit.
You can
And
get
that
to
kid's
any
not-
Eli
that
Roth
kid's not
movie when you're under
staying
18.
in the
Yeah.
fucking
Jesus.
plaza. Like, he's staying in youth
Oh
hostel.
yeah, no, like he got himself, like, he spent all of his money on a passport and then just gets jobs for plane tickets.
Yeah.
Like he is like fucking roughing it, but just like not necessarily what's the word I'm looking for? He is relying on the kindness of strangers wherever the fuck he goes.
Yeah.
Spit just
So,
real,
I'm going back.
real briefly. That made me think of a bumper sticker I saw online.
Gee.
It just said ass or ass. I got my own job and can make my own money.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Oh,
But that, I mean, when you're a young, strong man traveling the world, that's how you got to make your money.
Yeah.
So Heather, you were gonna say something.
So we're
before?
we watched the show of 4 teenagers because we start with only 4 of them
Mm-hmm.
who are navigating normal teenage life of going to school, not going to school, and just like trying to do their best. And then we got Popo, who's living the best life.
He is living his best life.
Living his best life.
I mean,
Trying to
yeah.
fucking
Kinda.
drown out the demons.
We're not there yet.
Words.
So just living his best
Phrasing.
life.
Oh, yeah.
Phrasing,
No,
bro.
no, that was on purpose.
Oh,
Don't
you're
worry.
a monster.
Yeah, I'm a monster.
Yeah.
And by living, they're awful. Let's be honest. These 4 shitheads are shitheads.
Well, I mean,
To
they're,
each other, to themselves. They're shitheads.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, how do you still be friends with people after like going through something like that?
Yeah.
Well,
Like you
and that's-
either become like the best of friends or you never want to fucking see them again.
Yeah.
And like with like
I get that, and I understand that they're going through trauma, but they're still shitheads.
Oh, absolutely.
They're fucking shitheads, and
Because they're way too young to have to deal with something like this.
They're awful to each other. They're awful to themselves, their lives. Like they're just kind of fucking awful.
Well, I
So
mean,
you're
that's
watching
what
for-
unresolved trauma does. It's a poison, man.
I know. I'm not
The
saying
trauma
that.
of being 16 years old.
Well,
I mean, compounded by the trauma of everything else.
I'm not saying they're not wrong. I'm just saying they're shitheads.
yeah, I mean, like the hardships in life have set them on a very particular path to probably not being the most healthy of individuals. Both.
So
I mean, like
what the
not
show
at
gives
all.
you
No.
is a ghost girl who is
Kawaii as fuck.
17 in body, whatever, right?
Sure.
16 to 17 in body, quote unquote.
Which still is not. That's a bad mouth feel to be thinking about.
With an 8-year-old mindset.
Yes.
Or 11-year-old.
Or
apparently.
11-year-old
Yeah.
mindset. Okay, she's younger in her brain than she is in her body. This has already put me on a bad path. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not okay with that from the get-go.
Yeah.
I was not okay with the fact that she aged up physically, but not mentally. I was like, this
I mean,
is
is
going to
that-
lead me to be uncomfortable most of the time.
Is that's implied? Yeah, that she hasn't. I guess so, right?
I
mean,
based on everything she says
Yeah,
in the run
yeah,
of the show,
that's
I'm
fair.
going to say
everything
yes.
she does, everything she physically does with Jitan without realizing the implications.
yeah, that's true.
Just
Including the first fucking 5 minutes. And like I was prepared for it.
Because
I
I've
was
been
warned. Josh
bragging
would not
on it
shut
for like
up
the last
about it.
year
would
about
not
it.
shut
Yeah.
up. Which thank you, because I swear to God, had I not been warned, it was worse than I thought it was going to be. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
I heard
yeah. It,
because then Josh was
Because
like,
they do the cork pop sound.
Josh was like, you know what? I'll give it to him. It was accidental, and I'm like, how do you accidentally give a striptease? And then I watched it, and I was like, are
Well.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So
It's more of like it's over. Don't worry, folks.
It's over the pants shit.
It's over the pants between the cheeks. It's fine.
Everybody has their clothes on.
yeah.
Everybody's just popping in the pool. Everybody's just,
He's popping at the dinner table.
yeah.
I was already. I'm not.
That's
I'm not on board with this. Like
It's a strong way to start a show for
it
sure.
is a very strong way
Yeah.
to start a
Yeah.
show that never then touches that again. Really.
She does a couple times. There's at least one other time.
Yeah.
No,
Which she
she's on
does.
it. She's on his stomach.
But okay. But here's the thing. It's played for laughs. Like
Yeah.
this is played
Thank
for
God
laughs.
he says that.
That he's gonna throw up.
Yeah,
Because
I was like,
it's like,
are they
please, not
doing
again.
it again?
Yeah.
Oh no. He's like, I'm gonna throw up. Like, oh, thank Christ.
Yeah.
I know. Like, ugh. Like, this is an interesting way to start this show. That they're trying to make this a laugh. That she accidentally sets him off.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And it's
So the
just,
reason
and then that's no longer the tone anymore. And I was just
Yeah.
like, so that's jarring to me. It's a little jarring of like, okay, thanks for that introduction to
Thanks
this.
for that image.
Yeah, thanks for this world. And then you have, this physically aged up, mentally not
Yeah.
child. This is a child running around after these 4 shitheads.
Who are technically also still children,
Who are all
despite what the show may want you
who
to
are
think
all
about
still
them.
children. And I think that actually her being under 18 makes the scenes about her and the high school, that makes a lot of sense. The fact that she's 16, 17 years old, and everybody like, oh my gosh, she went to a love hotel.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Like, of course,
Yeah.
the younger she is, the bigger of a fucking deal that is.
Yeah.
And why the principal was involved, and why there's so much gossip, and why this is such a big deal. Because if you don't think 15, 16, 17-year-olds are having sex, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Or you live in that footloose town. And
or nothing fucking happens.
how are you listening to this podcast?
Yeah, podcasts are outlawed there. You cheeky bastards.
Yeah. We got your back, Chris Penn.
Jesus.
That was him, right? He plays the big Lenny character in Footloose.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Moving
Oh
on.
my God. So it's just I think that this is a weird concept to begin with, and it's just one I was not signed on for. I was just like, look, it's not here for this. If she had mentally aged with them or she had physically stayed a child, I think that I would have been.
I think the latter is the way you go with that one.
I'd be more. I don't know why I thought I'm just like, nah, I need her to still look like a little kid. I need this to make sense.
Yeah.
Because then the whole thing of like, I need to make this better. They just, in a lack of a better way to say it, they sexualized it a lot more than I think should have happened.
Which apparently was supposedly toned down. Mari Okada wanted it to be much more erotic and slapstick, and they kind of toned that down a little bit.
I was going to say, they wanted to be more of the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that. I'm going to tell you now, had that been the show, I would have stopped it at the first episode and been like, no fucking no.
Yeah.
Never again, you dickhead. And walked out of the room.
Yeah.
Like, it was too sexualized, especially knowing that she was maybe now 11 when she died. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
And so I have a rough time with that. I have a rough time with her octave above everybody else's voice, constantly screaming, G-Ton! At him all the goddamn time. Cool. Anybody else can talk at any point. That'd be great.
I will say the other heavy-handed thing the show does, and I mentioned this earlier too, is that there'll be characters that will throw like accusations at each other, like, you're an idiot that can't let go of the past, and then they'll quietly to themselves be like, I was talking to myself.
To be fair, it's always
the one. It's Glasses.
It's always Tsurumi.
Yeah.
Who is just like, because like it's
she accuses other people of doing it.
Because Yukiatsu is always the one like yelling at Jinta about stuff.
Yeah.
And then like Tsurumi will just like chime in and be like, all that bullshit that he just said, that was about himself.
But then
and she does that like 2 times.
Yeah.
And to be fair, she's fucking right.
Oh, she's absolutely fucking right.
Anjo does it to herself a bunch of times though too.
She does. She does it to herself, and being like,
Jean-Chan does it a couple of times.
Kind of puts it in her head, I think. I mean, that's kind of the thing where she.
Well, no, like she lives her life like that always, where she's just like, man, like anything that she thinks of like people outside of herself, she immediately internalizes and is just like, but fuck, who am I to even say that? I am the worst of us.
They hate ice cream. What terrible human beings. I also fucking hate ice cream. God damn it, I'm the worst human being. That's what she does. It's how she literally lives her life, right? Like, she does it about every single thing. It doesn't have to just be about the Menma situation. Like, it's about any situation.
Yeah. Do you know what would have, I think, helped with these characters a little bit more is if we had seen more of them when they were younger. Because we get very little of them actually being friends.
Yeah.
And it's almost exclusively them screaming at each other and then Menma going and drowning. Like, if we had actually seen their Peacebusters adventures.
Remember just when fucking drowned, that bitch.
When stuck her head in the toilet.
Like, we get almost too much of them screeching at each other.
Even as children, yeah.
Then we do they're good times of them being friends. I'd like some more backstory on something.
I mean, why did these people like each other? Because we don't really see that.
I mean, I think the show does kind of assume that you come from that same kind of like band of kids running around chasing bugs and shit. I don't know. I think that it does take some leaps to have you kind of fill in the blanks, which I don't know. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, I agree though. I think like narratively having a little more time with them as kids would.
I just feel like
better. We
could have used just a little. Less Jinta time, more anybody else time.
Yeah.
Especially, folks, you all know that I have a hard enough time keeping track of characters' names, especially when you're like watching the subs and you read the name, but you're not putting that with the character. Like, but all of the characters having 3 different names, I couldn't keep track of. I can keep track of some of it.
Well, and it's tough too because I mean, depending on formality you have in Japan, like either you call them their last name or their nickname, or it's what I think it'd be like last name, first name, nickname would be kind of the level.
And they can have multiple nicknames depending on who's talking.
Yeah, and the show waits until like the last half of the season to start telling you which one actually belongs to who, and by that time I'm like, I've already thrown in the towel. I don't.
I know that these characters are looking at each other. Ergo, I think that they're talking to one another, but not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 names that I can.
Who are the
recall.
3 that you remember?
I actually have 4.
Okay.
So I have Menma.
Right.
I have Jitan.
With all of the sass on that Menma.
Menma.
Menma. Jitan.
Yep.
Popo.
Yeah.
God
And
bless.
Anaru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are nicknames.
Those are the 4. Those are their nicknames. Yes.
Yeah. And Anaru's actual first name is Anjo?
That's her last name.
Last name's Anjo.
Yes.
Jitan's last name is Jita. No, his first name is Jita.
Yeah. His first name is Jinta. His last name is Yaromi.
Yaromi. And then I cannot remember the other 2's names. I can't.
So-
I just can't.
So Popo's real last name is Hisagawa. Yukiyatsu says it like once or twice.
Iki. What's his name?
Which one's Yukiyatsu?
Yukiyatsu
boy.
is the real sack of
He's the
shit.
Yeah.
boy.
Okay.
I was like, I can tell once I hear them, I know which one belongs to which.
Yeah.
I just don't I can't remember.
Yeah,
how to say them.
honestly, I haven't. I mean,
I
again,
can tell you which one belongs.
not
So just say a
internalized.
name, and I can probably tell you which character belongs.
Yeah,
to.
so Yukiyatsu
is the shithead boy.
is the shithead, the super shithead. Menma's actual name is Meiko Honma.
Yes,
Yes.
Who's the
okay.
girl with the glasses?
The girl with the glasses is Tsurumi.
Chihiro
Surumi.
Yes.
Yeah.
is her last name.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
tell me what they are. I can.
for just the fucking ease of everything.
Yeah.
Dead girl, Menma. Right? We all got that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Main dude, Jintan. Fuck
Yeah.
it, we're just calling him that. Who
Jintan.
fucking cares?
Popo.
Other main dude, Popo. Best girl, best boy, fucking
Best person.
best person, Popo.
Popo.
Real sack of shit, Yukiyatsu.
Yeah.
What was his nickname?
That's his nickname.
That is his
Is
nickname.
Yukiyatsu.
What's his actual name?
I don't fucking know his actual name.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. I
Again,
just know his name is Yukiyatsu.
Did not
Okay.
internalize any. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tsurumi is fucking glasses.
Surumi, the psychologist of the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have used a little more Surumi.
Yeah.
And then
See her with
Syrup,
me. is what her name is.
Syrup.
It's been 10
daddy.
years. She's fine.
It's
It's fine.
fine.
See her with
Jeez.
me.
Oh no. And then Honoru is the
Honoru.
redhead.
Yeah.
That is true.
So, like,
Whose hair I liked when she wore it in a pony, and when she wear the
Yeah.
pigtails, I'd be like,
No, girl, don't do it.
There's too much gap here between her head and the pigtail. Too much
Yeah.
gap.
anyone else think it's weird that they go out of their way to specifically mention that the 2 living female characters are not that bright?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Jintan says, oh, she's kind of dumb, but she tries real hard.
To be fair,
And Tsurumi's like, I'm so stupid. I'm only 4th in my class. I try so hard to be as smart as a boy.
Yeah.
I think that this whole show is very sexist. So I'll just don't come at me with your eyeballs. So I
I'm
can
not
see-
doing it. I'm looking at you while you're talking. I am trying to be fucking polite.
Let's just say,
The whole show's kind of sexist.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Jinta says that about her, he's trying to
He's trying to be a dick. He's
trying to be a dick, so
no,
people
he thinks
stop
that
pe-
that's what he thinks in his head. What he says is worse.
Yeah, he's thinking about trying to be a dick.
she's got a love hotel face. Oh, so
That's
bad.
a pretty good. That's a good line. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that on my dogs.
Of course, she looks like she's been in a love hotel a time or two. She's got a love hotel face.
Don't we all?
Whoa, bro. And this comes from trying, like, you think like, oh, maybe he's trying to make it better for her. No, it's just he's real pissed that my big comeback to school is overshadowed by this fucking girl going to a love hotel.
Little
You
column A, little column B.
shithead.
It's column
Yeah.
A, column B.
I
He is
realize that.
he's like
But
he's trying
as,
to
like,
cause a distraction so that
when
people
he-
will like take their focus
When
off
he
of
yells,
her.
he's trying to cause a distraction. His entire internal monologue up until almost that moment is, God damn it, my big day is all ruined because she had to go
I mean,
to a love
yeah.
hotel. God
He's a
damn
fucking
it, guys.
shitty teenager. Of
I
course,
mean,
that's what
yeah.
he's
I mean,
thinking
none
about.
of these characters. I mean, yeah, we do go on an emotional journey with them, but
I'm
none
sorry.
of them are
Most
supposed to be.
Shitty teenagers at that point would have been like, you know what? I maybe could get her to go to a love hotel with me.
Yeah,
No, not G-Ton. He's like, my ghost girl's at home, but I'm here. Why is nobody paying attention?
I mean, they
to me?
already got to third base, so they're going steady at this point.
Basically, yeah.
And I think that's where having the younger versions of them and being able to be like, okay, we like these characters, and now we see the shitty older ones. We're
Yeah.
gonna stick through it so they can get back to where they were, but we never have that where they started from.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of my like disconnect of like I don't actually give a shit about these characters
Where
when
they
they're
came
11.
from.
So like I don't know where the show is trying to get them back to. I don't have any frame of reference.
Yeah.
That's fair.
See, I feel I'm
Go ahead, baby. It's fine.
it's not.
It's okay, baby. It's a safe space here. We're just gonna make fun
Is
of
it?
you. No, we're gonna make fun of you for your thoughts and feelings.
It's a safe
but
space, you
it's a
piece of
safe
shit.
space.
Get the fuck out of here. So I feel like with this is not exempt from what I feel like a lot of anime do, where just like they will just show you something and be like, you just have to fucking be along for the ride.
Yeah.
If you're not, then you're not, and like have a good rest of your life. But like this is what we're gonna do, and
Yeah,
you're
just
either
follow
in it or you're not.
And here's what I think: this show is 11 episodes long, right?
Yeah.
And it is 7 episodes of shit I don't want to watch, 3 episodes of okay, all right, I might be on board now, and 1 episode of why did you make me cry like this when I haven't been crying this entire time? You fucking assholes!
Yeah, you
So
fucking
I
bait and switchers. God damn it!
I had an interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wanted. I kind of tried to pre-funk a little bit in the week leading up to having you watch it, where I watched the first 9 episodes again. And it was just like, okay, yeah, like those first 9 episodes, I got through them and I was fine. And it was like, yeah, okay, I know,
Yeah, it's
I
the
know,
last 2 episodes.
I know
that
the
you
very
fall
end
like
is
a
like where,
fucking baby.
yeah, like all the crying comes at the very end of the show. I know that. I'm just like prepping myself for some shit, but like rewatching it by myself, and that like I was noticing little things that I didn't notice before, and I think it is time to fucking get into it. The first thing I will say is that the
We talked
Yukiyatsu-
about this. We talked about how it benefits from a second watch.
yeah, we
Yeah.
did, and
Oh,
like
Lord Almighty.
just for okay, first of all, it benefits from it if you're already fucking into it and you want to catch little things that you didn't notice the first time. So
Or you can just tell them to us and do the whole rigmarole.
yeah, that's why we have a podcast. That's
Hell
what we're gonna, but the Yukiyatsu reveal where he is in the woods and he's in the dress and he's like
Which
trying
I
to beat
called
the shit.
immediately, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
I mean,
I'm like,
that's like where Tsurumi is very much just like she's way too like into it all of a sudden and just like, oh, something's fucking up, and then you see him like going into his closet and you're just like, oh fuck.
yeah, it's like, it's time, Menma.
Yeah,
And I was
you ready to show
I was like,
Jintan?
what's happening here? And then, like, yeah, he's running through the woods, and I was like,
I thought it was gonna be like a real doll situation or something, but
No. So where he is like, where he has his like actual breakdown and like she stops everybody from like intervening so that he can just like fucking yell out the words that she knows he is keeping inside, and that like because everything
she's
up to
the
that
therapist
point
of the group.
yeah, because like everybody up to this point has had their moment where you realize like, oh, they think that her death is their fault.
Yeah.
Like Jintan thinks it was his fault because he like had his outburst and then like ran out and she ran after him and then she fell. Anaru thinks it was her fault because she was the one who brought it up in the first place. And then you have Yukiyatsu be like, I am the one who did it. I killed her. And so watching it by myself, I got through that scene. I was totally fine. But then for some reason, when we were watching it together, that scene got me a little bit. And I'm weird because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watching it again, there are little things you notice that make it very apparent that there is going to be a very big reveal at some point. And all of those things are the way Popo acts, the way he's immediately on board, the way he is constantly trying to see Menma.
Yeah.
And it's in little things where you think it's just like, oh, this is his personality. There's one scene where he goes over to Jintan's house and they're like eating food. And then he's like very much just like, he's just getting up and he's like being his regular, just like loud self. And it's like, you think on the first watch, you think it's just him like unaware, not reading the room, of him just being like, yeah, come on, Mema, let's do this thing. Like, we got this, right? And let's do the thing. And we're
gonna get you to heaven and let's go. And I can't believe you're not in heaven. And let's go. Let's go. And
they animate it where it's like he still seems his usual self, but there's little things that if you like look a little closer, he's got like little beads of sweat going, and
like he's clearly anxious.
He's so anxious, and they like the first watch, you're just kind of like, man, this guy's like, what is going on with this dude? Second watch through, the like desperation in what he's doing is very obvious.
Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know about the dub, but I feel like that came through pretty clearly. I mean, the fact that like there's that kind of layer to him comes through pretty well in the sub. Like whoever the voice actor is did an incredible job.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I picked up on some, and I know I was saying things out loud as we were going, so I don't know how much of this you were like, oh yeah, Heather picked that up too. See, it is there. Da, 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 da. But like, he has a moment when he's talking later on, and he's talking to Jinta, and he's like talking about how, he, you guys let me hang out.
Oh yeah, but he had a hard time keeping up,
and sometimes I would just stand there.
And do nothing at all.
And like the way
nothing
his face,
nothing at all.
Yeah, his face blanks out, and he clearly
there's a couple times I feel
is
like
remembering something, and you then see him standing in the woods by himself, just staring at something, and it's one of those just like something's not right here.
Yeah.
What's going on? And I still wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, and just like the way he's constantly changing out the little flowers that are out in the woods in that little jar, and like just a lot of, and the
fact that he has a spot that jar goes in should have been a clue of like, why this spot?
Yeah.
Why does he remember this spot?
And the fact that he almost asks Menma when like they're alone. He's like, so did you see trail off? Let's play a game.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that weirded me out is that in the dub, that Popo is not played by Christopher McCulloch, who plays Hank Venture on the Venture Brothers, because I was getting some serious Hank Venture vibes out of Popo.
Oh, really? That's.
But he was not. I will say, like, as someone who is very recently, I was just kind of switching back and forth, just like kind of for shits and giggles between the dub and the sub. And I will say, like, of all the dubs versus subs that we've done on here, I think this is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
The dub is?
Yeah.
Really?
As far as like the voices are almost pretty identical.
Yeah.
Except for maybe, is it Yukiatsu?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's pretty different.
Is his? I don't remember. Like, I haven't watched the sub since I watched it in 2016.
Yeah. That's definitely more an adult anime character voice, whereas I think they play it a little bit younger in the dub.
Yeah, he definitely has like one of the older-ish voices, but it still sounds like a teenager.
Yeah. Where in the dub it's
sub.
I'm Yukiatsu. It's like
okay, bro.
Sure.
Well, like, so things there are animation things that like are different about those two specifically, where so like in anime I'm not gonna go into a full fucking like TED talk about this or anything, but like, so in anime, though, they will do certain things to show a character's like age. So a way that so what I'm looking for, coding. I think coding is the proper term.
Yeah.
So one of the things they will do for somebody who they want to appear younger, they will have bigger eyes. Bigger eyes means younger. The smaller eyes means they're older. Tsurumi and Yukiatsu have small eyes. They're old. They're focused on going to college. They are like, they're on a path.
Yeah.
Everybody else has bigger eyes. Popo has very big eyes. Menma's eyes are
Just
90% of her face.
And the rest is forehead.
The rest is forehead.
That's also kind of a weird. Yeah, anyways.
7 head, but
Yeah.
whatever. And then like Honoru has like bigger eyes as well.
Hers fluctuate.
They fluctuate a bit because of like she is very much kind of
Anytime she puts on her fake eyelashes, they get smaller.
yikes. And then
That's what this says in the show.
Yeah.
It does actually. I
Yeah.
like that they made that point of because I noticed that her eye shape was fluctuating, and then they were like, "Oh, your eyelashes." I wondered what was different about your eyes.
Yeah, and then Jintan I feel like is kind of
Straight down the pipe.
straight down. Yeah.
He has protagonist face.
He's protagonist face. But not like
It's their hair too. You can tell. Like there's certain times when Anoru is feeling more mature and acting a little older. She has the ponytail. Her hair
Yeah.
is less fluffy. And then when she's acting kind of immature, she's got her pigtails.
yeah.
Jintan's hair is very fluffy. And what's his face? I'm not gonna remember. it.
Yukiatsu.
I don't want to remember shithead's face.
No, it's Yukiatsu.
Shithead. Has his hair is a little less.
It's very
It's
trimmed. It's
trimmed,
very
yeah.
like in place.
So those are other things that
Yeah.
stand out.
Can I just say, I feel like the depiction of Yukiatsu in this show and his
Shithead.
sorry, and him cross-dressing, I actually feel like for an anime in the early aughts, this is actually handled
pretty well.
pretty elegantly.
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah.
It doesn't just immediately. It actually at no point makes it a joke.
No, it doesn't
No.
make it a joke. It doesn't make it like, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, like, I mean, a little.
It doesn't make it as an oh my god, you're wearing a dress, so something's wrong with you. It makes it into why are you trying to be our friend?
Why
Yeah.
is this how you're processing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which
It's why are you emulating this? Why is this how you're choosing to grieve by
Yeah.
emulating her this way?
which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're this far into this, like Godspeed. Thank you. Like I know this episode's not doing numbers. This is a fucking passion project for me. So I appreciate y'all sticking around. If you want way more fucking elegant talkings about
If you want better mouth words,
better mouth words,
If you want good say words and not our bad say words,
go and it's
Don't plug
it's
somebody else while we're still trying to talk.
I'll plug it at the end of this then.
Oh, okay.
I was like, we're still giving our opinion.
No,
We're
I know
not
we're
fucking
still.
done.
I know we're not done. So I'm gonna.
I still got feels.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug somebody else at the end of this episode, who has a couple of videos talking about this show. Where literally like I watched one of his videos where he like kind of did like a retrospective about the show, and like his retrospective about the show fucking made me cry. So
Jonathan, can I say Anohana and you just cry? Is that how this works?
that is is the trigger word.
Jesus Christ, I fucking hate you
good. I was
guys.
saying,
Memma
is
should
that-
have just said Anohana, and that would have ended the show real quick.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Sorry.
Spoilers.
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 Doesn't so here's. I mean, I guess she doesn't do it. So again, spoilers for a thing that we've been spoiling for like the last hour.
For the last,
we made it
yeah.
this far, yeah.
A
Exactly.
10-year-old thing that we've been spoiling for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The I mean, I guess Menma specifically doesn't make him cry, but Jintan's like crying the whole first half of this season. So like, why is she sticking around?
Is he?
Does he cry?
I have
he
no
doesn't
Not a
cry.
single time.
Well, he does
Not
it.
once.
No, he does it early on. I think because of
So I think here's the difference.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna actually, I don't think he cries. I think tears well sometimes, but I also think what she means by cry is he needs to release his
Yeah.
grief.
that's fair.
He needs to cry in grief, not because he got hurt and tears welled into his eyes,
Yeah.
not because he was so mad that tears welled up.
Yeah.
He needs to release his grief, and that's really what this is about. Is it's okay to cry, which good message to boys.
Hell yeah.
It's okay to cry. release your grief and cry it. Like, I don't think that it had to be physical tears. It had to be releasing his grief.
Yeah.
And that's really what this was about.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be about it, we're going to get into it. So I want to talk about these 4 shitheads and our best boy talking about their just like this last episode. So we've watched them be shitheads to each other. We've watched them finally work as a team to get what they think is this wish done.
Yeah. And then, spoiler alert, they were all doing it for themselves.
So it fails.
Because they were sisters. They were doing it for themselves.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Moving immediately on from that.
Oh my God. That's
So-
a timely reference for the kids out there.
Yeah.
God bless.
So we
got
get past this and it
Shit.
doesn't work, and so they all kind of have this breakdown together,
Which-
where they finally reveal.
Which I thought was hilarious. For
Yeah,
those of
so
you
Josh
that listen
thinks
to
it's
our
hilarious.
Devil All the Time episode, I think like there's a tipping point where it's like don't feel anything. Oh, that's kind of I kind of feel bad for these characters too. Well, now I'm just laughing hysterically because there's just too much misery on top of misery
Yeah.
at this point.
So I was irritated. I wasn't irritated, but at this point, I'm just like, okay, I know where these shitheads are gonna go with this because I know what they are all feeling. Right? We've been with them on this journey for 10 goddamn episodes. I know Jintan is. I'm guilty of thinking about myself because I just wanted her to stay and I don't want her to leave. The end. I know Anaru is going to be like, I want her to go to heaven so I can have Jinta's dick all to myself. I want to give him ghost girl lap dances is what she's thinking. We've got Shithead who just wants her to leave so that
Jintan isn't the one who
is
sees
the only
her.
one who can see her.
Yeah.
We got Surumi, who wants her to go because I don't remember. She just wants her to go away.
She has she is a very, very like quiet presence throughout the whole show where you're just like, man, she's the most together out of all of them.
And turns out she's not.
She's not. She is also not handling her shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
She wants her to go to heaven because she wants the shithead to move on
and be with Anaru because she thinks that's what's just going to happen because she has no fucking sense of self.
Yeah.
no self-worth
Yeah.
self-worth.
Well, because she wants to be with Shithead.
Yes, but she doesn't think that that will ever happen. So she's
Yeah.
like, Anaru, listen, you want her to go away because you want Jinta to yourself, but in my mind, I'm never going to get Shithead. So I want her to go away so that Shithead can be happy with you.
I thought she wanted her to go away so then Anaru would be with Jinta. And so since Anaru
that's kind of, she does spoil it. So she, in her brain, she's like, no. I'm the best girl because I want him to be happy and he's only going to be happy with Anaru. So he needs to get over this so he can be with Anaru and we'll be fine. Oh, wait, what I actually want to happen is I want Anaru to go be with Jinta and then he won't have either one of them and he'll have to come to me. Oh shit, I'm just as bad as all of you. She has like this moment of realization of like, I'm great, I'm better than you, I bet. Oh fuck,
I'm trash.
Probably
I'm trash
which
too.
is sad because I mean that obviously she just has zero sense of self-worth.
Yeah,
Like,
and then it turns out, oh wait, I'm just as all of you. So they're having these breakdowns and we've all learned why they each feel responsible. And so we've learned that Jinta feels responsible because he ran out. Anaru feels responsible because she knew that she was going to get asked this question, and it might set people off. Shithead feels responsible because it was
his idea.
It was his idea because he wanted to piss off Jinta. What's her face feels responsible because she knew that Menma didn't want Jinta to be there and that this was going to happen. We find out that she knew that this was going to happen, this question was going to happen, and that Menma knew that this question was going to happen. And so we're all kind of sitting here going, cool.
A lot of melodrama at this point.
And then they drop a fucking bomb on
And then
you.
Popo's like,
the real
who
trauma.
fucking cares?
Yeah.
And I was like, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. And everyone, got out of their
Yeah,
seat.
who fucking cares? And it's not that he doesn't say who fucking cares. He's very much just like, look, like, none of this matters. Go the fuck away. I did nothing. I'm the one who caused this. I'm the most responsible because I want her to go to heaven so that I no longer have to feel guilty for watching my friend drown. And everybody goes, shocked Pikachu face? What?
Yeah.
Fucking what?
I seriously I sat up and like, I'm pretty sure I had shocked Pikachu face.
You absolutely did, and I did not look over at you because I was too busy fucking sobbing.
He was. And I didn't look at you because I knew you were crying. And so it's just like, wait a minute. So this whole show, I've been watching these shitheads argue over whose life is worse because the dick they want in their mouth is not the dick that's trying to get in their mouth.
Jesus Christ.
You're welcome. I'm
Literal
sorry.
children,
They are,
Heather.
I know. And they're teenagers.
I
it's
know,
fine.
it's fine.
They go to love hotels. They got love hotel face. We're all here for it.
So there are these children running around. It's like a Midsummer's Night Dream circle happening right here where everybody's in love with the wrong person. And half of them are in
reference.
love.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Half of them are in love with a little ghost girl. So you know what I mean? It's just, what the hell's happening? And then it turns out that this poor silent person in the background who's, you're right, 100% signed on about what's going on with Menma from the get-go, right? He never once questions Jinta that something is not right. He is the one who's like, I'm going to help you every step of the way, make sure that this goes right. You need a job so that you can earn more money with me. Here, I know jobs. Let's get you hooked up, buddy. Like, he's on board with all of this. He never wants waivers. He's the only one she actually wants to spend alone time with besides Jinta. Anybody else notice that?
Yeah.
The only other person she wanted to spend alone time with was Popo. He's the only one she decided to communicate with.
Which is really sad because I think from her perspective, that was because she thought that being with him, he was the only person that she didn't make sad to be around. Whereas probably in all reality,
She made him the most
he
sad.
was the most, I mean,
being
for different
around.
reasons, but
And I think,
probably the most
but
broken.
I think that that's not exactly true. I don't think he was the most sad to be around her. I think that he's the one who wanted her presence.
Yeah.
For most genuine reasons, and
Because he has the biggest question out of
he
all
has
of
the biggest
them.
question out of all of them, and I think it also kind of made him feel a little better. Of like, I do get to you want to be around me still.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he wants to know if she saw him, and I don't know if he watched her drown.
That's the
or
big
if
question.
He saw her body and didn't know what to do.
I mean, either way, yeah.
Either way, it's traumatizing. This kid was anywhere from 8 to 11 years old.
Yeah. Well, so here's based on his wording, she didn't just like drown just like sitting right there.
No. She was swept away in the
She
river.
was swept away in the river, and he just watched it happen.
To be fair, again, to this poor child, and like, for anybody who gets pissed at this and goes, why didn't he fucking do something? The kid was a literal child. We keep talking about them as teenagers, as children, because they are. That's what teenagers are. Sorry, teenagers who are listening to this. You are
Sorry,
children.
libertarians that want it to be otherwise.
Yeah. You are children when you are 16, 17, all the way up to 18 years old.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm sorry. You're still a child. You're a child.
Into your 40s.
Yeah. You're still a child, but this was a tiny baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a child. You know what I mean? Like, whether they were 8 or 11, they were young, too young. So yeah, either he watched her fall in and get swept away and didn't know how to stop it, save her, just got stuck in shock.
Yeah.
Or he saw her body floating away.
Which
either way, not great. Not great.
There's a certain degree of just helplessness that just you can never really shake in that sort of situation.
Yeah. So here I am at the end of this show that I've liked all right, it's been a show. And I'm like,
been on the
definitely
TV.
a
it's
show.
been on the
It
TV.
is a show
It's been
that
a
I've
show.
watched with my eyes.
Well,
and there's
here's
colors
what too
and
is that
images.
Jonathan's been talking about this show for years. We've talked about this. He's talked
Yeah.
about the shows for years,
Yeah.
and he's loved it for years. And he cries, and like he's never told me what it's about. All I know is that there's gonna be this crazy ghost lap dance in the beginning. That's all I know. So this whole show I'm watching, going, what the fuck do you love about this thing so much? Because I'm not getting it. We're now 11 episodes in. I'm not on board with why the hell this is the best anime you've ever seen in your goddamn life. Shocked Pikachu face to Popo. And it's just like, why haven't I been watching more of this?
Yeah, why isn't this our main character?
Why? And not he doesn't even need to be our main character,
Yeah.
but why hasn't this been? And you said on second watch it pops out a little bit more.
Mhm.
Why wasn't this? It's 11 episodes long.
Yeah.
You are giving this to me in the 11th episode, part of the way through the 11th episode.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to be real with you for a second. 7 episodes of this are almost unwatchable to me. I cannot handle Menma's screeching. I cannot handle these shitheads being this awful and not having any redeeming qualities about them, because there's not for 7 episodes. I cannot sit through 3 episodes of a halfway decent, maybe there's some redeeming qualities, only to have my last episode, which should have been way longer, last fucking episode, give me the only redeemable character's story arc. And now I have to feel all these feels very quickly. Like, I was very shocked. I 100% shocked Pikachu face, 100% had feels. Oh my God, my poor baby Popo. Like, this makes me want to hug this poor child and sign him up for all of the therapy in the world.
You legitimately, like, you went from just like laying down position to like, I thought you were gonna get up off of the couch and start screaming at me. Like, you physically moved way more than I thought you were going to.
Well, I'm telling you now why. It's like unwatchable, and I'm so pissed. And now because then it all starts to click. Popo's not with his parents. He's dropped out of school. His family's not taking care of him. He's living in this fucking secret base, living in his own goddamn misery constantly.
Yep.
Because this is just a physical reminder of their past, of the handwriting on the wall. They all drew on this. They all carved into this. He's living in this. And then finally people start coming back to his life, and they only do it to torment him with the thought of a ghost of the friend he watched drowned. And it's only then do these people return to his life. Only then does he think that somebody's going to care enough for a minute to hear what has happened to him. And it turns out these fucking shitheads are just there for their own fucking reasons.
Yeah.
And they're there to fight and bicker and torment one another in front of him, while never asking to invade his space, while never asking to invade his peace, which he does say at some point. Of that he was just living his goddamn life, and these people just barged in.
Reading pornos and eating pork rinds.
Yeah. Trying to forget, trying to do the best therapy he can without therapy. And this is, I get 15 minutes of this. And not even because I then immediately have to go care about Jinta again. No. Fuck that goddamn shit. Because then I have to watch Jinta go. And then I get anxiety. And this is where I get real pissed at this show, because I'm not sad. Jonathan's like bawling like a goddamn baby next to me. I can't look at him because all I feel is anxiety, because Jinta gets back to the house and you know she's dying at this point. We're all fucking watching it happen.
Yeah.
And I freak out because I don't think that he's going to get her back to them in time. So
Yeah,
they can
that
all say
last-
goodbye to her.
oof.
And I've got anxiety from this. And then they get her there and nobody can fucking see her anymore. And I'm just like, really? This is how it's fucking gonna go down? We're gonna all fucking get here and everybody's just gonna have to say goodbye to the goddamn air? Oh, no. Let me give you letters. About what I love about you. And shitheads should have said nothing. Just so we're
what
all
I love
clear.
about you, blank.
What I love about you
No.
is how loyal you are. Ooh, that was a bit of a burn. I'm just gonna say. I don't even remember what Popo said because I started crying now because Popo's just sobbing. He's finally gotten what he feels is the redemption. Other shitheads, I don't give two shit. I don't care if you feel better. My poor Popo finally feels better. And then they get to see her. And that's great. Except for I still don't fucking care, but I'm crying because one good boy
One good special boy.
got to say goodbye to his friend and not feel like the world was falling down on his head. And then that's the end of the goddamn show.
Yeah.
I think the thing that like makes me disconnect from the ending is that the last 10 minutes is this them screaming the entire
time. I'm sorry, this is an entire 11 episode show about people screaming one person's name for as long as fucking possible. They scream Jinta's name, they scream Memma's name, they scream Jinta's name, they scream Memma's name. I don't care whose name you're screaming anymore. Stop it.
So I just really like this show, you guys.
It's the same problem I had with the Goonies. There's just too much screaming for my personal taste.
Oh, the Goonies fucking sucks.
With the Goonies, at least it makes sense. Those children are like 8, and that's all kids do from the ages of like 3 to 10 is screech. I have a 5-year-old. I know what it sounds like. Yeah. Screech at you about everything. They screech when they're happy. They screech when they're sad. They screech when they're mad. They screech when they're excited. They screech. Screeching.
Existence is screeching.
Is screeching.
So the only time that I came close to like getting a little misty eyed is the second to last episode when the rocket goes off, and then there's like a moment which is kind of undercut from the way that the shot is framed, where you can see Menma back there, and then Jinta's like, "I wonder if she's still there," and you're like, "Yeah, she's right there. I can see her
right behind you,
right in the frame,
right there, right behind you, asshole."
Turn around.
I really wanted there to be somebody be like, "She's behind me, isn't she?" Or her just to peek up by his face and was like, "That's a cool rocket." Only for me to be like, "Ah!"
I mean, she kind of does. It's like that. She's like,
dope. Wow, it looks like a flower. And
no,
motherfucker.
But when he turns around and sees her, I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
That's nice.
Yeah.
He feels bad that he thought she was going to be gone. That's nice. But the rest of the time, I was like,
"Oh, see, I'm not. I'm like, God damn it, let this little girl go to fucking heaven. I'm
Yeah.
done with this shit." I thought we were gonna have an episode of wrap up of like, and here's how they handled it.
You
after
have 20
she was
seconds
gone.
at the end.
2 minutes.
Yep.
You don't even get 2 goddamn minutes. Somebody show me where Popo signed up for some fucking therapy. That's what I want.
No, he's
going
going
to
to
college.
School. Yeah, he's going back to school.
That's not therapy.
while
He needs
working
therapy.
construction.
Yeah.
He's double dipping.
So what I would really like to see is him studying psychology and how to be a therapist.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just have to watch the movie and find out.
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
Wait, is there an OVA?
No, there's a movie.
Yeah, it's a live action.
No,
Oh.
not the
It's a
live
live
action movie.
Okay.
Oh.
There is a live action movie that is just a 2-hour version of this show.
No, thank
But
you.
there is a sequel movie that takes place a year later.
The Squeakle?
Oh, no thanks. I'm good.
I'd watch that.
I would watch the fuck out of it. Yeah, Rage Quit over here obviously wouldn't watch it. And doesn't give a shit wouldn't watch it, but like
Are you
I
saying
want to
I'm a
watch
rage
it.
I would
quit? I
watch
didn't
that.
rage quit. I watched the entire
You
fucking
rage
thing.
made it all the way to the end, actually, which is
Yeah.
probably the most commendable.
I actually didn't rage make it. I just tolerated it. And
Yeah.
then I got real mad. And then I got sad. And then I got anxiety. And then I got mad again. So yeah, I actually did rage finish. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, that checked out.
Haven't we all?
Fuck.
I'm just gonna say.
First 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
My,
Are we,
my-
are we watching Ponyo again?
Wind Rises, you mean?
That's,
Yeah.
That's
fucking.
I think for me, the 2
Miyazaki.
best episodes are the 2 episodes where Gintana has a job and isn't just moping around.
Oh, thank
There's
God, yeah.
nothing more not interesting for me than watching people mope around. So I'm like, please, for the
Yeah.
love of God, something happen.
The whole Hikikomori main character protag thing is, not something
I'm also highly disappointed that none of the food in this looked appetizing.
That ramen looked dope.
That ramen looked fucking dope.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not usually one for like scrambled egg in my ramen, but I mean, I'm sure people like it.
I'm really mad about the bread having raisins in it.
Also,
Yeah.
just looking like grits with raisins in it.
Also, looking, like
Well, that's
it looks like a Red
steamed,
Lobster biscuit.
That's steamed bun for you, man. That's how that
It
shit
looked like a
looks.
Red Lobster biscuit with raisins in it.
Cheddar Bay biscuit with
Yeah.
raisins.
I'd fuck around with it. I'm not even mad.
Yikes.
Now I want some cheddar
Do you know?
biscuits. Sans raisins.
one funny thing about the show are all the fake brands that they had to come up with.
WickDonald's.
WickDonald's, my
I
favorite.
fucking love
like
McDonald's.
that too.
Every time I see that pop up in an anime, I'm just like, yes,
there it is.
I'm on board.
So WickDonald's is anime, but when you read like cartoons from that area, from Japan or Korea, it's WhackDonald's. So like my favorite is WhackDonald's.
His hair, whack. His eyes, whack. His stance, whack.
WhackDonald's.
So that was one of the things that we were talking about last night too. After finishing it, was like I find it really funny that like that was the thing, but then there's like legitimately like a Pepsi Zero can in a shop behind Popo.
Yeah, well, because they were sponsored. Of course it was.
He
Yeah,
has
There's
a bottle at
something-
one point too.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something else that's sponsored too that we were pointing out.
Coke Zero, by the way.
Cup noodles. I think
Yeah.
they use actual cup noodles.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, when he goes to get the ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't.
Oh,
have,
I think the blue soda popsicle is like that's actually
it's
what
an actual blue
that's
soda
the actual
popsicle. Yeah.
one from, yeah.
But then you have sticks, chocolate sticks.
Oh, the Pocky.
I think
Pocky,
it's-
that's different.
Rocky.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rocky.
hey, Rocky. hey, Rocky. Yeah.
So, Harley, what does this show mean to you?
Yeah, I realize I've been pretty quiet.
A little bit.
I know.
Yeah,
We thought this was gonna be the Jonathan Harley podcast. and really, I just raged all over your guys' therapy. I'm sorry.
I was really interested to see how I felt talking about this show because
And so you decided not to. You're like, no, I'm good.
yeah, actually, yeah. No, I mean the show in a long line of of episodes of Harley talking about anime and then saying, yeah, I connect a lot with the show because it really meant a lot to me in this certain period of time. Anohana is actually pretty hard for me to talk about or think about, really, because unfortunately, I actually do have a pretty much one-to-one experience with the show, and I was introduced to it kind of by someone who was involved in setting. I'm not gonna. I don't think I want to get into the nitty gritty, but
Keep it as vague as you want to.
yeah, I basically had someone who went through that situation with me, more or less. Who her and I had been old friends who had kind of grown apart and kind of went through this thing, and there was basically the kind of the end confessions scene. She was like, you need to watch this show because it's been a couple years and holy shit, is this ever real? Is this ever like our experience? So like going into this show, like I already kind of knew. I was like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, this is not gonna be good.
Yeah.
This is not gonna be like a fun time for me. But I mean, I think, kind of touching upon it a little earlier, like this is really a show about allowing yourself to let go, allowing yourself to have catharsis. And I mean, I know that the way that these characters are presented, I mean, yeah, they're just a bunch of shitty high schoolers. But
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who more or less, and it's funny, even though now that we're working with the amended ages and the amended timelines, literally went through a very similar circumstance at a very specific and similar age. I can say firsthand, yeah, that shit turns you into a garbage person. Not to say that trauma and childhood trauma, which can unresolved turning into teen trauma, is it's a terrible thing because it kind of just forces you to grow up. But I mean, being still a kid, you don't really, you just get all of the bad shit
Yeah.
that comes with getting old and growing, bitter and complacent, and having that moment of release and being able to kind of regress, I guess, is so important. So yeah, I forget exactly. I think I lost the script a little bit of where I was going with all of that. But I mean, this show for me, it's important because it kind of reflected my experience back at me and allows me to kind of reprocess, I guess. It helped. Anohana is a show that I think strikes a lot of very familiar chords for me and allows me to kind of remember while also having a little bit of catharsis, just because, you know, I mean, these characters are shitheads, but if they can have closure, then
anybody can.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's weird because I don't I simultaneously love Anohana and hate Anohana.
Yeah.
and I think, you know, when you'd recommended the show, it was hard. It was hard to watch it again because it was very much like I can't really pull the show away from that experience. But I can say, I mean, again, you know, if you can take it at face value and not get too much into the nitty-gritty details, but allow their narrative to kind of wash over you and to allow the characters' experiences and baby steps towards growth inspire you. If you do come from a situation, or if you have a situation that kind of outlines this, I mean, I think that it is a good show in that maybe it can provide a little bit of artificial catharsis.
Yeah.
Because it definitely, I mean, that whole, I mean, yeah, I obviously fucking just emotional wreck the entire, like, I think I got through, like, the first episode, like, the first, like, like, OP, and I was just a hot mess. Like, instant hot mess. Just because, like, that's just what this show fucking does, you know? And I don't know. I think it has a good message in that it doesn't really matter. I mean, so I guess that's the thing, is that with the scene, with all the characters, you know, kind of saying their piece, and then, you know, obviously, you know, Popo kind of dropping this bomb. I mean, I think that, you know, obviously with what is being said, like, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a comparison of like, well, you know, one person's trauma isn't necessarily, I mean, like in the big picture, this person obviously, you know, had it worse. But
yeah,
I mean, I think just understanding that it doesn't really matter what the trauma is, be it something that you've put upon yourself, or be it something that has really, I mean, truly viscerally traumatized you, you know, allowing yourself to own the feelings and the emotions and process them, and not feel like, you know, they're not valid because you're not the most hurt. You're not the most broken. Like, I think that's really important. And anyone who's kind of gone through an experience of like group therapy, which is super fun and not at all super awkward, you know, can probably find a lot to connect with in that specific scene. But yeah, so I don't know. It's a yet another show in a long line of shows that Harley has watched that is extrinsically tied to a very specific time in my life and a very specific situation that I can never really
separated.
Yeah, right. So it's an important show to me, and I realize that it's not going to be that for everybody. But I think that if you can allow yourself to you know, kind of get swept away in the narrative, I think it's
phrasing.
Get swept down the river.
Hey, you
no, I appreciate it.
You hit me with that shit earlier, so I had to
come full circle.
We've come full circle.
Yeah.
I want to really quick. I want to. You've mentioned the OP a couple times.
Oh, it's so damn good.
It's so damn good, and goddamn, does it paints a very clear picture of what is happening with each individual character.
Yeah.
And like the way that it's one of those things where you can just like watch it and be like, oh yeah, it's just it's just a little opening of a show and it's fine and whatever. It's just a way to introduce you to the characters, but it actually is introducing you to them fully. It is like fully introducing you to the characters.
Yeah.
Where like you get each of them individually and how they are individually kind of haunted by the memories of them as kids. You get Jintan he gets the memory of them as little kids, and his immediate response to that is just like frustration and anger. You get like Anaru, and hers is like okay, so the thing I was going to do earlier, I was going to plug somebody else. Go to YouTube, go to Mother's Basement.
Oh yeah.
And he has like a full breakdown of like the OP of this and how like the way that people are like Anaru is framed literally behind bars in the opening when you first see her, as like the memories of them as children is actually in the foreground of the shot, and she is like fucking walled off from all of that shit. And then you literally see a shot of her being sad about it before going over to Popo, who's just like listfully sitting on a fucking cliffside just looking at the city, when all of a sudden he is surprised by the memory of them as little kids. And then you go to Yukiatsu and Yukiatsu is the shithead. Shithead.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know.
Okay,
His
sorry.
name is Shithead.
Shithead and fucking girl whose name I can't remember, even though I've remembered it. Surumi.
Chikiro.
See her with me.
Yeah. Like sitting at like a shrine, and she is distracted by the 5 of them playing in the shrine. He only gets distracted by the memory of Menma. It's like
that's the where they made the firework. Isn't that where they made the firework?
No. But anyway, like it's just like what
Pretty sure it's where they made the firework.
the shrine. Oh, it is
Where they actually build. Where they build
the
yeah,
firework.
not where they set
Yes,
it off.
Not where they set it off. No, where they're building.
Sorry,
the
yes,
firework.
where they build it. Yeah, that is where they build it. Yeah, that shrine. And yeah, so it's like, oh, this is actually giving you way more than you think it is.
Yeah.
Well, then it's a good thing on Netflix. They give you that smash the skip button.
Woo! No,
You know I did that shit every time.
I'll
I
admit,
did.
fucking monster.
I skip a lot of
The
OPs,
button's on
and this
there.
is
It's right there.
This is one I never. This is
Oh,
one
I
I
absolutely never skip.
Oh,
can.
first of all, I didn't because I like the song.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bop. It's a
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
It's a
Good
boppity bop.
Good bop. But yeah, I also read into signs of like it was the 4 of them coming together and then looking over at Jinta, and Jinta
who was
looking
isolated.
who's isolated, who's then looking at Menma, who's looking back at him.
And then once he like brightens up, he looks around and realizes he's surrounded by all of them again.
Isn't there a Phil Collins song about that?
Yeah, in the
Spank the monkey.
This,
Yeah.
that's
Strangers Like Me?
Jesus Christ. None of us are none. Yeah, probably. Who fucking knows? Anyway,
Son of Man?
so, yeah, anything from the Tarzan soundtrack. Yeah, go to Mother's Basement.
It's
Go
Susudio.
watch Susudio.
Studio.
Go watch his videos about this show.
Yeah.
And if you're our listeners, you're already there.
Oh.
On YouTube. Yeah, this
No.
is true. What?
Mother's Basement.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Get wrecked. Get wrecked. But yeah, like this show.
Erect.
This show is just it just is. Like for me personally, it is one of the things that affected me. So like, as a musician, this show affected me to the point where I literally wrote a song that just is a synopsis of this show.
It's
Basically,
a good song too. That's also a bop.
I was gonna say it's a bop.
It's a bop. And
Is a bop.
it's it's one of the things. It's like I didn't just like sit down and watch the show and then like write it. I wrote it like a while after having watched the show. And so like going back and rewatching the show after the fact of that and realizing like, oh, I fucking got like so much of this sank in that I like, there are weirdly little details, like not trying to like fucking jerk myself off or anything, but there
Mari
are like,
Okada, if you want to give me a telephone call, we can get you on the royalties for that. Get your songwriting credit.
but there are like weirdly small details that are just like I just like threw in the song that I kind of just thought were like throwaway filler lines that actually very much are just a part of the show as well. And it's like, oh, I actually was doing way more than I initially thought I was doing / gave myself credit for. So
Good job.
I guess good job to me.
Good job, you.
But yeah, like so this is one of a cup. I think there's another show that like literally like after watching it, like I had to go and write something. This is the first time that I think I just literally just like went and just like poured out the entire show into a song. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those shows where, again, if you can let yourself get caught up in the narrative and the emotions present, like it's gonna take you somewhere. But I would
that
say
somewhere is Pissed Off Town
Or Pound Town, either way.
or
Yikes.
Brown Town.
No, we don't. We don't.
Oh,
Going on down to Brown Town.
God damn it.
Speaking of songs written for the show, the 10 years later version was not one of those songs. It was written in 2001 by a different band. It's a cover of that song, which is why it's the 10 years later version. It's a little,
But why is
20
it the
seconds
10
of-
years after version then?
because it was from 2001.
Because it's a 2001 song that they were singing in 2011.
Yeah.
oh,
Jesus
well, that's
Christ.
confusing. Well, yeah,
That is
Sorry,
okay,
Johnny?
So everything that I fucking said on this episode, just fucking
it's a lie.
cut out, just delete my fucking sound file
30
from this whole
seconds of
episode.
Googling.
Whatever, 30 seconds of Googling.
30 seconds to Google.
Ooh, that sounds like
New
a good
band
band
name.
name. Called
It's
it.
a good band name.
New cult name. New cult.
I was going to say it's a
30
new
seconds.
album name, but sure. It's a
30
band.
seconds.
Gonna
to
grow out
Google.
my hair, wear long white flowing robes, and
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
take all my fans to an island and do whatever the fuck he's
Take
doing
their
out there.
money.
Oh no. This is going in a very bad
Wait,
direction.
who are we talking about here?
Jared Leto.
Oh.
Bound
From 30 Seconds to
Brown Town?
Mars.
Oh boy.
I'm sure there's a lot of Pound Town happening over there.
Oh boy.
Pound Town and Brown Town.
Well, on that note,
do any of us remember how did we end 8 Days a Week? Did we do
I think we did.
Clooney's on that one?
Let's
Oh.
fuck it. It's new season. We're doing Clooney's.
Clooney's.
we're doing it live.
I
Doing
feel
it
like
live.
it was just a should you watch or should you not watch.
Fuck it. We're doing it live. It's Clooney's.
Harley, how many Clooney's?
How dare you? Don't make me go first on the
You're a
Clooney's. You go.
Yeah, I would say have the two the skepticals go first on this
Yeah.
one.
I would say it's a solid 6.5 on the Clooney scale. It doesn't rock your world, and like your enjoyment of this, much like the Suicide Squad, very much depends on your buy-in early on, and if you don't, you ain't gonna. Nothing of the text is going to sell you
Yeah.
on the thing itself if you're not already bought in, and yeah. So it like. When I watched this, I watched like the first 2 episodes, and then like 6 months later came and finished it. Now that we were doing it, so there was a lot of stuff. I was like, I know his name's not Yoshimitsu, but that's all I can think of what his name is now.
Who?
You Tekken fans out there.
Yeah.
Shithead?
Yeah,
Fucking Heihachi over there.
yeah. Like literally, other than Jintan and Menma, I didn't remember any of the characters. Are any of the characters in the first 2 episodes? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
Anaru.
yeah, they don't make I don't think they make a strong impression at first. So do with that information what you will, cuz I was like, I don't remember who am I supposed to know who these characters are, cuz I do not.
The two of them appear in the first episode, if not the second episode.
Yeah, because when they go on that walk, Jintan,
Yeah.
Menma bump
Yeah.
into.
They bump into them.
Yeah. So but yeah, like this show depends. It is better than A Whisker Away. So
Cheer,
of the
Jesus.
Mari Okada universe that we've dipped our little
Our
Beans
I was
into
say cat toe beans.
this definitely. Oh, insofar as things are told in a linear way, so it's got that
As
going
in,
for it.
there's no finger banging a cat.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Mari Okada's
I mean,
got some interesting.
There's a ghost lap dance to completion, so it's not much better. But
I'm honestly, the more I'm thinking about like what her aim for this, I'm just like, do I not actually like Mari Okada? Like,
it's possible.
Is it just like, do I like this? Do I fucking like the show in spite of her contribution to it?
It's possible.
Probably.
Heather, what do you got on Clooney's?
7.5.
Oh, that's
higher than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Clooney's.
Yeah.
Clooney's. Think of where Phantom Menace was.
3?
I didn't do a 3, did I?
Somewhere down there.
Somewhere down
I think
there.
I had the highest score on the.
You did,
folks. Go listen to our Star Wars. All my Clooney's are now based around the Phantom the Menace scale.
I mean, it's a sliding scale.
Okay, then I'm gonna re-advise, and I'm gonna say 6.5.
That's probably a little bit closer.
I would say that I enjoyed less than 65% of this, but the one part that I really liked, because I got a lot of feels out of it, and I do like things that give me a lot of feels, is worth a 6.5.
When it gets you, it gets
Final episode is worth 8.5 Clooney's.
Yeah.
Rest of the season is worth 3, so I'm rounding it out to 6.5.
I do really think the show does like stick the landing emotionally.
I think that if I were to watch only the last 3 episodes, I would get the same emotional takeaway from it that I did from 11 episodes.
It almost kind of feels like, now that I think about it, it almost feels like it's trying to be like a 2-core season. Or a series, rather, where it's like you basically have them like working through like the parents' trauma, and the parent like basically have them trying to go in and win over like the go ahead to shoot off that rocket, and then like everything else that happens, I feel like it could have very well been its whole like a whole second season that's just shoved into more or less one episode.
I think we could have gotten rid of the first 3 episodes and that would have been fine.
Oh,
That's fair.
Yes,
that's fair.
Harley. Now that we've set the
Low bar.
temperature.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's hard for me because I don't think I ever really have or probably ever will think about Anohana, like from an objective.
Oh, I thought there was a period at the end. I will never think of Anohana.
I will never think about Anohana.
Full stop.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, sort of. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to think about it objectively. Like, this is always going to be a show that means a very specific thing for me, and you know, I think I mean, definitely a certain degree helped with, you know, some personal healing, and I mean, if anything else, just maybe some personal reflection. I mean, trying to take that in stock, and then also, you know, kind of, I actually think that, you know, talking through it and kind of hearing your guys's takes on the
Negativity.
show. Yeah, well, I mean, to a degree.
Dissenting opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I've definitely pointed out some things that I think I've just was never even really on my radar. So I mean, maybe another show.
I never once sexualized Honoru, so that's on you guys.
Yeah, well, honestly, I guess
I mean,
I'm
if this
sorry,
show was
did you
on,
not call her the best girl the entire time before? We're like, wait.
Well, I mean,
not best girl doesn't mean like in a sexual way.
I know it doesn't.
let's
Unless
just
it's
say
Popo.
To a lot of people, sir.
let's
No, I
just
mean,
say
yeah.
that there's a few shots in this show that if it were on high dive, it would have the white little cloud across the screen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, do I think it's like the most impeccably crafted show anime ever? No. Does it really resonate with me, and does it have like does it have a special place in like what I'm talking, like what I'm thinking about, like emotionally driven anime, like it is important to me? Yes. Yeah, it is. So I mean, I have to give it at least like an 8.5, and that's where I'll leave it.
Jonathan, how many tens are you going to give this, Clooney?
Shut the fuck up.
20 2010
20 of them.
Yeah.
20 tens. The last time things were good.
Oh no.
Does he get an 11 for 11 episodes?
No. This.
I mean, technically.
I'm not gonna lie. I tuned out of Harley's long ramble. How many did you give?
You give it an 8.5.
Thank you.
Technically, this really does have 0 George Clooney's, so just
technically speaking,
just
so you
for the
heard it
sake
here,
of-
folks. Harley gave it a 0 out of 10 George Clooney's.
I mean, really, it'd be a 0 out of 0 George Clooney's because
He gave it a 0
was no-
out of
there was no
11
starting
George
point.
Clooney's.
Anyway, sorry, Johnny. Go for it.
That's fine.
He gave it a 0.
double 0.
Double rainbow.
So yeah, this is just a very. This is a very specific. Me feeling kind of thing, and where I'm sure I've done this in the past where I've given a high ranking to something but don't necessarily think I would recommend it.
Yeah.
The high number does not equal a recommendation.
Yeah.
And that is because I know there are things that there are not necessarily like cracks in the foundation, but there are like things that if you think too long about it, too much about it, like one does when you're doing a fucking podcast, for example, things will just kind of like come to the surface and be like, yeah, that's not super great. That is a very weird way to frame that shot specifically. Why are you doing that to a
cut away?
I mean, all I'll say is, to use an analogy, if you start pulling apart a lot of your favorite things, food-wise, ingredient by ingredient, probably their base components, it's not going to be super great shit. But you know what? It still tastes good going down, baby.
It does.
And sometimes you pull apart things bit by bit, and it's actually like pull apart bread,
which is always
that
delicious.
is also delicious.
Yeah.
But specifically for me, because of what this show means to me as this was the first anime that I watched where like the depression wasn't just like all internal, and it wasn't just like, yep, you're depressed now.
Yep.
Go live your life. It was like,
I just don't feel like the show is this isn't really a depressive show. I mean,
I think it's a show that
it puts you in that headspace.
It puts you in that headspace.
That's
because
fair.
So what my thing, like my depression thing, is that I'll watch something, and then when it's over, like I just get in a depressive state over the fact that like it's done.
Yeah, that's fair. The show hole, not to minimize, but that's the show hole. I feel like that's a thing.
Okay, yeah.
Finishing a show and you just have that feeling of like, shit, I had this like crazy highs, maybe crazy lows, either way, like, and then you're just kind of back to reality, back to flat. And
I want to go live in Pandora and have sex with my flying dragons through my hair tentacles.
Boy, howdy, did that definitely trigger that shit for me, right?
Never seen it.
I'm also just like cat girls. Oof, boy. What
the fuck?
Avatar.
Oh, okay.
The Last Airbender.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All the people that got depression because they couldn't go live in Pandora.
I apologize to you if that is a thing that happened to you.
You know what? Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a thing that I get a lot of time, and and it happens a lot with anime because a lot of animes end on a very down note, and so it just like compounds that feeling.
Totally.
And so, but like I've watched depressing fucking shows a lot. And just been like, yep, I have that feeling now, and now I'm just gonna continue my life until I find a next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like this show, like we were actually living like with our friends in their basement at the time when I watched this for the first time. So I'm just like sitting in their basement, like with our not even a year-old child, just like fucking weeping openly, and just like, man, I hope nobody comes down here to do laundry in the next fucking half an hour. So I like for that kind of like is a very me specific thing. And so like, because it got me to a point where I was way more like open and like by myself, sure, like open and vulnerable in those places, and just being like, yep, that thing made me cry. Fuck. Okay. Like, yeah, it's not perfect by any means. There are a lot of things that probably, if they weren't there, the show maybe would be better for it. But but yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. It as much as there are 7 episodes of unwatchable shit, that shit's just fucking cozy to me, and it is just like it is a.
We have very different definitions of cozy.
I don't know why it is, but
but that's totally legitimate. That's totally fair.
No, Harley, do not legitimize his
Harley,
feelings.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck me, right? No,
Yeah.
but I mean, I get it. I think you and I, in a lot of ways, are very similar in that, like, I don't like if I'm into something, like if I'm caught up in a narrative, like it could be real garbage, and I mean, not to say that Anohana's garbage, but like I'm willing to forgive a lot of shit if it takes me somewhere, if it makes me feel a certain way, if it allows me to feel something that I need to feel or I want to feel. And I think that's the whole thing with Anohana, is that it did that for me. And obviously, clearly, it did that for you too. And I mean that's legitimate. You know, I mean, art. It's the shit's subjective. Don't let fucking anyone, you know, sitting behind a microphone talking on a podcast tell you that what you like is shit. If it resonates with you, art is art is art. If it, I mean, well, maybe you know, piss Jesus, whatever. But that's that's a whole other. Sorry, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But like, you know, if it makes you feel a way, then that's it. That's the final say. I mean, we can compare our shit, you know, objectively, but that's not really what we're here for. So
that's not what anybody in these situations does. Like you start something like this because you want to talk about the thing that makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And if people want to listen to it, like, that's great. But like I have no fucking like aspirations of this being like, this is our most listened to episode.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's gonna be a thing. This is just, I really like this thing and I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
You never know. Animes can be weird that way, as far as like things that pop off and don't. Whisker Away wasn't that unpopular.
Yeah.
So,
and like
compared to the rest of our
finger
episodes.
blasting a cat in that, so of course.
So I mean, like,
I mean, we got a good rub job on this one, so we'll
and plus, like the like 10-year anniversary event is happening in Japan, like right now.
Oh,
I
shit.
think actually.
Japan, stop having terribly depressing shit.
Don't so that I have things to watch. And
I was gonna say,
don't take that away from me,
yeah,
folks.
Thanks for coming to 8 Days of Weeb and our kickoff. We promise that we will try to do things that are less depressing.
Nah,
Probably
join
not.
us next time
for Grave of the Fireflies. We're gonna watch
damn.
it.
Battleship down. Watership.
Battleship down. I might watch that.
My battleship. What is that? Watership.
Watership
down. Yeah, that's
Forbidden Planet.
Jesus. The one I was gonna say was join us next time for fucking Your Lie in April.
Oh boy.
Now we gotta
Join
do-
us next time for Orange.
Citrus.
Not citrus, but orange. Orange is
yeah.
Orange is good.
Yeah.
Citrus.
Oh, we
I'm
have to do citrus though.
Join
we
us
have
next
to do
time.
citrus.
We have to.
Whoa, what's happening?
God.
We fucking had to do this. So
If we have to do
Join
this,
us next time for B Stars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd watch Beastars.
I'd fuck with Beast. Wait, I mean,
folks.
no anthropomorphics.
Join us next time
For
for
me,
when
please.
Josh does not want to be on this podcast anymore.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out
We're
for.
all a little bit furry, you know.
Everybody's a little bit of a furry sometimes.
Only if they have a tail and ears. Nothing past that. Thank you.
Sometimes a little bit.
Just when they're
little bit
little
of
anime
something.
cat
The very end, the very tip of the nose, that could be fine sometimes. But anything else, like when they get like just like a little bit of paint on there, to make it
No,
look
stop. Make it stop.
He needs human,
Turn the car around.
human titties, human hands, human vaginas. Come on, guys.
Oh man.
You know what? Not even human hands.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
And that's a wrap.
Good night.
We've got the Prestige coming up soon. We've got more Is Good Actually, so are going to be coming out. And let's see, what other shows we got? I think those are that's the main shows we got right now.
Those are the main ones we got right now. Yeah.
And,
while we're reconfiguring everything and turning our monthly Miyazaki into 8 days of Weeb, pour one out for your boy Miyazaki because we've officially run out of films to talk about there.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sad enough as it is.
I'm sorry. I buried the lead on that one, didn't I?
Once someone hits 60, you can't start a sentence pouring out. It's against the rules.
that was entirely my fault.
Oh,
speaking of fucking phrasing, I apologize for that.
Speaking of Frasier,
sweet Jesus. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's good actually. Nolanverse and now 8 Days a Weeb. And then
we'll sprinkle a little bit here and there. We've got some fun plans coming up. Some 20th anniversary is coming up of a certain Lord of the Rings. I don't know what I do.
Of a certain little trilogy.
Of a very certain
that
specific. Sir, is it a
It's
lore?
20th anniversary of a certain little trilogy that takes you 11 fucking hours to watch.
Fuck yes.
I mean, not if you're watching the extended cuts, which we will.
Oh, that's 13 hours.
Oh, is it 13?
Yeah, it is,
I was like, I thought those were the 11-hour ones.
It was like 11 to 12 somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, see, I thought I was
So-
right.
See, my thing is I always forget that it's the special features that are 18 hours long,
Yes.
not the movies.
And I have seen every single goddamn minute of that shit.
Fucking lootly. Howard Shore's my boy.